You might know it, but everyone in the room might not know it. So I just want to be clear that it is not a holdup on elected officials. There is a process and a procedure, and it only happens twice a year. And so it has to be passed by a vote, and then it has to turn to the bill, and then they notify, just as the chief of staff already explained. So it's not, if there was a way to expedite it, trust me, it would be expedited, but we cannot change the rules like that. So, and there are plenty that they vote on. It's not just one coming out of every community board. There are tons of them, at the same time. So just, to reiterate, and what is good is that if you can have your statement written and submitted so that it goes on record at city council is always a plus. That's all I wanted to say. All righty, thank you.
Thank you all so much. See, we are learning something new every day. So now I would like to first, we are going to do a personal article addition and attendance policy revision to our bylaws. And I want to give context and clarity before I read what the new changes are. In conversations with the different chairs of our committees and the officers of the board, we recognize that attendance in our board has been quite a challenge recently. There's new changes, there's new participation, and there's other people that have moved on for personal reasons, as they are right to do so. So we want to present to you our proposal for attendance policy, which we think will help us strengthen the participation of our board members. It's also a matter of accountability, making sure that we have transparent communication with folks and know what to expect. At a minimum level, people should attend the committees that they are part of, and they should attend the general community boards. If they don't have that opportunity for whatever reason, then there should be room for other people who want to participate to come. And it is also a challenge to conduct these sessions or do a vote if we don't have quorum. So these conversations are happening, and we're proposing a new attendance policy that we hope will be effective in September. So we're giving people time, right? We're not doing this right now, even though we received from the Borough President's Office the reports with attendance. We have members who have an 11% attendance out of 100. We can't do our work like this. So for those of us who want to continue coming to the community board and participate and be part of the conversation, we have from now until September to assess if this is something that we can commit to, right? And if not, then you can move on, and we are always going to be here for when you are ready to be, to at least fulfill the minimum requirements for attendance. We are always going to be here. This is an open forum. And also, we are making an amendment. We're proposing to make an amendment to Article 7 for our personal. And the reason why we're making these amendments is to make it more clear as to what the roles are. So this is something very internal, but also pertains to everybody. So I think that for transparency purposes, we have to read the whole thing. But I wanted to give you clarity that what you are going to listen now is a proposed change from the officers of the board to give more context to certain things that have to do with hiring personnel, evaluations, probationary periods, and administrative processes, so that the district manager and the staff at the community board can work together with the officers of the board. The officers of the board being the chair and the vice chairs. So those are the individuals that come together to make decisions about hiring people, evaluating, and also firing personnel. So I will read this verbatim for the record. Actually, Mario, you want to help me? No? Amanda, you want to help me?
authority. Members of the board shall have the authority to hire the district manager in accordance with the provisions of the charter of the city of New York.
Okay.
The district manager shall make final recommendations to the board officers, board chair, first vice chair, and second vice chair, for advice and consent regarding the hiring of all other paid staff, including temporary paid staff, for final approval. Personnel management and evaluations. The district manager shall be entrusted with evaluating all staff in accordance with duties and responsibilities prescribed under each staff title and responsibilities. The district manager is tasked with making recommendations for advice and consent to board officers for promotions, demotions, title changes, merits increases, and terminations prior to implementation or revision. And sorry if I'm dragging it. I can hear my echo and it's so weird. Probation period. The district manager shall be entrusted with making recommendations to the board officers for advice and consent to extend the probationary period of any employee during their prescribed probationary period in accordance with duties and responsibilities prescribed under each staff title. The formal professional evaluation shall determine the employee's continued suitability for employment with the board administration. The officers, board chair, first vice chair, and second vice chair of the board shall provide advice and consent of personnel actions, recommendations undertaken by the district manager, including hiring, promotions, demotions, title changes, merits increases, and terminations. The district manager will maintain the administration of the day-to-day operations of the professional work and representation of the office and as prescribed under the job description. The board officers will perform the professional review / evaluation of the district manager on the last day of each board session, June of each year, to determine areas of success or needs for professional improvements.
We're gonna ask for. Oh, yeah, if you can read the attendance policy too.
Okay. Attendance and participation policy. This attendance and participation policy is adopted pursuant to 2800 of New York City Charter, which establishes community boards as advisory bodies of the City of New York and provides that community board members are appointed by the borough presidents and are expected to actively participate in board functions and deliberations. Regular attendance and participation are fundamental obligations of board service and necessary to ensure quorum, informed decision-making, and effective representation of Bronx Community District 1. Duty of attendance. All duty appointed members of Bronx Community Board 1 shall attend all scheduled general board meetings, attend meetings of the committee to which they are assigned, participate in deliberations and votes. Excuse absences. A limitation. Each member shall be permitted no more than 2 excused absences per calendar year. Acceptable grounds. Excused absences shall be granted only. Proven health-related matters, including personal illness, medical treatment, or immediate family health emergencies. Medical professional notice should be filed with the board office when immediately available. Work-related obligations, where professional responsibilities conflict with scheduled meeting times. We should also add school to that. Notice requirements, we should add school. Okay. Notice requirements. To qualify as excused, the member must notify the district manager and or board chair prior to the meeting or provide written notice no later than 2 calendar days after or before the committee or general board meetings. Failure to comply with this notification requirement shall result in the absence being recorded as unexcused. Unexcused absences. An absence shall be deemed unexcused if it exceeds the 2 permitted excused absences, does not fall within the acceptable grounds as excused, or is not communicated within the required timeframe. Sanctions and enforcements. Consistent with New York City Charter 2800 and Borough President Oversight Authority, members who exceed permitted absences, accumulated unexcused absences, or demonstrate a pattern of non-participation shall be subject to review by the Executive Committee. Potential sanctions may include formal written warning, recommendation to the Bronx Borough President for removal for cause pursuant to the New York City Charter 2800. Last, record keeping. The district office shall maintain official attendance for all general board and standing committee meetings. Attendance summaries may be reviewed quarterly by the executive committee and transmitted to the Bronx Borough President's office upon request.
So for context,
So for context, this is the work that the executive committee has done. I want to thank, everyone that has been able to review and make sure that these recommendations are in compliance with the expectations of the office of the Borough President. So with that, I would like for us to make a motion to do the roll call. Yeah, and Frank?
You have to make Madam Chair, I make a motion to accept the amendments made to Community Board 1's, wait, my glasses. To Community Board 1's policy and procedure and bylaws.
Brandon Goodwin, second. Question on the motion? Yes.
Yes. In the parts around excused absences, there are acceptable grounds regarding proven health-related matters and then work-related obligations. I do think that education-related obligations should also be added to this. School.
So if you're attending a master's program, for example, in which case people do get their schedules early in advance, but if there's an unexpected event right related to school, I think that's also work, but we can make it more specific.
If we can add the language to that, that'll be great.
I don't know if that's possible. I'll explain why. When you apply to become a board member, they specifically state that, you have to participate within their schedule, right? I one time got myself in trouble because I said to people that were trying to join, if you have an obligation, for example, you got kids, 3 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid, they get sick, they got school, you gotta do homework. I got attacked because it's going against women. It's not what I was saying. I was saying, you have an obligation. To be honest with you, if it was me, my children and my family comes first. This comes second. But I'm an older person, so I don't have that obligation. School, so there's a fine line there. I get what you're saying. But then what happens if we have 10 new board members that are coming on soon and they all have a school obligation? We have no quorum. So let's do this, because it's a good point. Let's see if we can adopt this, but we can always amend the rules as we go on to see if we can help out those that are going to school but also want to participate in the community. Okay, I think that's a fair thing, because we've been handling these bylaws for over a year now and trying to get it right. But I also understand your point about the schooling. That's a fair thing. Okay, the language.
If there's discretion with that among work-related obligations, if there can be discretion around that with work-related obligations, not that this is something that's going to happen each time, but that discretion would be allowable as an excuse. And then again, we can't have more than 2 excused absences. So it's not like this is gonna happen often. I just think the discretion there.
That is a good point. And I think that
we're not trying to police people necessarily, but we're trying to improve communication, at least to know. I mean, the reality that we have right now is that people don't show up and we don't know. They just don't show up, they don't send an email, they don't communicate, they don't tell us. I mean, we don't wanna be their business, but at least if we're expecting you to participate, to collaborate, to join something that you sign on for, right? This is a matter of professionalism in the core.
This is the board member.
Oh,
The board member.
I think it would be really, Evelyn Alvarez, I guess for the record, I think it's really helpful to also ask why people are coming. I don't think that there should be a jump to really recognize, how, but I do think that our role is also to be able to cultivate curiosity, and so I'm really perplexed as to why no one is asking people why they're not showing up. Perhaps it is that people could be so overwhelmed with personal things that they didn't prioritize telling you. Or perhaps people are losing sight of the value of the community movement because of the way that things are done. For example, I personally feel sometimes that I have to ask, like, is there a voting item? What is on the agenda? If we don't know, and it's harder to make room if other things are offering opportunities, if you don't think that this is a useful use of your time every time. And I can't speak for other people, but I think that it is of equal value to really inquire from board members that are not showing up, the reasons why they're not showing up, and not just creating rules that cut people off, because that's not what it is that we want to do. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's a very valid concern, Evelyn, so thank you so much for sharing that. You know, the recommendations we're making fall within the guidelines of the community board's office. I think it's always a good habit to remind people. We have so many new members and folks that have been here for so long, right? So the nature of community boards is also that when things are being discussed that matter to particular groups, some people will show up, others won't. When there are leadership transitions, some people will move on, others will stay, new members will come. But you made a great observation with regards to knowing what is going to be discussed, what is in the agenda, so that we use our time effectively. Which is why we have reduced the number of committees to make sure that we are not duplicating work, and also we continue to emphasize the role that the chairs have to communicate to members in their committees and talk about the agenda, what are we going to discuss, and if there is not a discussion and a need to even meet, we can reevaluate and assess whether we want to keep those forums open. In the best case scenario, we are going to have a committee meet every month, but sometimes there are no requests, right? So it's this work that we are proposing, the attendance, for example, means nothing if we don't have an administrative staff that is enforcing the attendance, sharing with people what their attendance is, what the expectations are, and the main point, which I think that we didn't allude to before, is how are we working with each other? How are we staying on top of the needs of the community so that we use the board, this platform, effectively to engage with folks and to discuss the matters that matter most to our residents, right? So we can call.
Chair, I ask for roll call.
Okay.
Stephen.
Paolo Martinez, how do you vote? Evelyn Alvarez, how do you vote? Deborah Viles, how do you vote? Sure. Robert Barnes, how do you vote? Jadine Buxton?
I vote aye with the, like, agreements for the recommendation of like to having the language in there, and then also with like checking in on why people aren't attending the board meeting.
Reyes Claudio, how do you vote? Christina Cover, how do you vote?
I, with the amendment recommended to add on school as another, excuse absence, school-related matters.
Audrey De Jesus, how do you vote? Jacqueline De Jesus, how do you vote? Edwin Diaz, how do you vote? Brother Goodwin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Christine Licata, how do you vote? Argelia Ortiz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Marilyn Pena? Freddie Perez Jr.?
Aye.
Amanda Perez?
I with the language added around, school.
Rosa Pinero, how do you vote?
Aye.
Joyce Popus?
I vote aye with condition, wait, is it conditions, what? I have something to say. That there's actually a calendar provided months in advance so that people can actually plan around, because it's not always the same Thursday or the same Wednesday for my community.
The same location.
So, just that, so whatever, however.
Patricia Simpson, how do you vote? Madam Chair, the motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, and that is a great recommendation, the calendar. So, the calendar and the location, right? I feel like we've had a couple of challenges recently with
The location, but fortunately, and I didn't get to say this at the beginning of the meeting, I want to use the opportunity to say that now. We really want to thank our partners here at the Lincoln Hospital for making this space available. And I can attest to the fact that not having this space available posed incredible challenges for the community board. Until we had to go through this experience, I had not realized how difficult it is to find open spaces that are available and that are fully accessible and equipped to host meetings like this. If I may share, the last time when we hosted this meeting at the construction school, we had an issue because it was not ADA accessible. And that's always one of the first questions that I ask about venues. And after that happened, we created a rubric where the first question we ask when we're looking at a venue for an event or a meeting is whether it is ADA accessible, right? And I want to thank you for your patience on that. This beautiful space, renovated, state-of-the-art, fully equipped with technology capacity, it's a blessing, and I hope that we all do not take that for granted. The only recommendation, I want to make sure that the Lincoln Hospital folks here, if we could have the mic stands, one on each table, since we have 3 tables for each meeting, that would be great. But moving on, thank you so much to those of you. And us at the community board, we want to make sure that we are listening to your questions. Why are people not showing up? We can all do so much better at communicating with the members and asking. This is a volunteering position, but again, as Freddie said, people have other priorities and we want to be mindful and look out for each other. Sometimes people are sick, you don't even know what's happening to them. So that checkup call matters. And also making sure that we are being productive and engaged. So thank you so much for your observations. We have been making an effort to share a calendar, at least the three calendars. So I believe that for now we have shared April, May, and June are out. So those are the last calendars. Yes, they are available online. You can look that up. Stephanie Calzado helped us to post things on social media. Make sure that you're following up CD1 on Instagram. And always there's printouts in our office. So you can always stop by the office and pick up a copy. We can also text it to you. We don't want to be a pest, but if you prefer text messages like me, we can do that, okay? What else? Okay. One thing, I would like to, before we give the opportunity to the elected officials in the room, Marilyn Peña has been coordinating a very exciting initiative. If you please want us to give us just like the date in a summary and ask perhaps if people want to volunteer to help organize.
Hello, everyone. So I am so excited. We are really working hard to put this health fair together. We do have a save the date. It is August 1st. And we have a rain date as well, which is August 15th. So hopefully it does not rain at all. The start date of that is from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and the location is at Pulaski Park. We're gonna have amazing, we're gonna have health screenings. The whole goal is to ensure that we provide services and resources to the community who may not have the proper, just the time to get checked up. And so we are gonna provide mental wellness resources, linkage to additional care, support services, nutrition information. We will have a free Pilates class for us, of course. If you bring your own yoga mat, that would be great. We're in the works of having a basketball tournament, but we are also in collaboration with FEC and other organizations. So if you guys are interested, or even spread the word to be a vendor and participate, and even just come and volunteer, we are all for it. So if you guys like, please send an email to bxcb1hhs@gmail.com. I will repeat it again, bxcb1hhs@gmail.com. And my name is Marilyn Peña.
Thank you so much. And I just want to attest to the incredible work and coordination that our chair for the health services has been doing over the past few months to coordinate this initiative and to reach out to potential community partners. The doors are open for community partners and organizations that you might not, that we want to say, well, we are looking for recommendations. Also, we're looking for resources to share with the community. We want to hear what the community would like to see presented to them or shared with them that evening. I will be volunteering conducting a Pilates class. But if you want to dance salsa, I'm also a good dancer, so let me know, what do you want? So that's it for the voting items right now. I would like to invite our representatives from the various elected officials' offices to give us your report. Elsie Encarnacion, Councilwoman Elsie Encarnacion. I'm gonna start with the ones that I know are here first. There's Congressman Richie Torres, Public Advocate Jumani Williams. Who else is in the room?
Borough President.
Borough President and Senator, the Senator. So if you may, you can line up when you're ready. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you, we appreciate you.
Hi again. Before my time starts, I just want for the record to state that we do not know when the vote will be for the street corner naming. I will be reaching out to the family when that will happen, but I don't have a date yet. Okay, now my time to start. Hello, my name is Stephanie Herrera. I'm Deputy Chief of Staff to Councilmember Elsie Encarnacion. My updates today on the legislative and on 2009, the council passed legislation law number 75. The law says that storefront businesses must get new gates that must be 70% see-through. The deadline for that will be July 1st, 2026. And what will happen is that the businesses will get fined if they don't do so. However, some bids and businesses reached out to us and let us know that SBS came to them maybe a month or so ago and informed them of this. And we took quick action to introduce legislation. We were not first in time, but Councilmember Stevens was. So this new bill that will also hopefully pass, will pass before the deadline of July 1st, 2026. Will grandfather in all the small businesses who had the old gate and applied and then only apply to new incoming businesses. So I will leave a homework for you guys. If you know small businesses, please let them know to please do not change the gates, because we're gonna change the legislation to allow them to not spend all that money, because it will cost around $10,000 to change that.
Wow.
So we're working on that. I will share updates with the chair, and everybody once it passes. That way we can all share with the small businesses. On the immigration front, the council member and the speaker sent out a letter to the administration to oppose the new proposal for HUD, which they wanted to they want to propose a ban on mixed income, mixed status family, which means that if there is a family member in the family unit that does not have documentation, they would take the whole family out of the unit. So we're opposing that legislation from the federal government. We'll get more updates on that when that happens. On the budget end, the executive budget for the city council has been postponed to May 12th because the state budget is late, so we cannot proceed with negotiation with the city and the city council members. So we'll get more updates when that happens. On the quality of life end, we met with Councilmember Stevens and DOT because there is a new school that's coming to the district, the Success Academy. That's going to bring around 2,400 commuters to the district, which affect traffic. And as of right now, there's no clear stance on Success Academy, how they're going to mitigate that. So we're working to meet with an interagency meeting to see what they're going to be doing around that, because that's going to be insane around that area. It's going to be around crossing our district and Councilmember Stevens' district. And then on the metro houses, last year when Councilmember Diana Ayala gave funding for lighting for metro houses. When the tragedy happened, we went to metro houses and we realized that it hasn't even been a year yet and the lights were out, that we already paid for, and then it was up and running. I know that this is small for all the issues that are happening, but we're working really hard to get those lights back up and running. Because it hasn't been a year yet and none of the lights were working. Also, another update on the participatory budgeting end. We want to thank all our partners that help us during participatory budgeting. Bronx Heights FEC, Bronx Justice Center, yeah, and the public library. We don't have the election numbers yet, but we were second in the city of the highest vote online. And then for the last update is that we launched our Service District 8 with the office. The second Friday of the month, our office is closed and we go out into the community to do Service Day. The first one, we did it in the South Bronx, so we had to do it in the Bronx. We couldn't do it anywhere else. So we cleaned up 138 when ACE, the community center, we cleaned up. And the next one is going to be in the East Harlem portion. But if anybody wants to partner with us, the second Friday of the month to do Service Day, it can be the garden, it can be any places that are dirty, we can partner in that. So I'll be here if anybody needs anything. Thank you.
Hello, if you don't mind me going first, going next.
No, go.
My ride is gonna be coming
Go.
soon. My name's Ron Jordan. I represent Congressman Richie Torres, and I just have a couple of announcements here. I hope you can hear me. I have a big mouth. We are proud to have partnered with the MTA and New York City Department of Transportation to announce $50 million for the replacement of up to 1,000 transport refrigeration units, one of the leading sources of air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions in our community. This is the equivalent of removing 330,000 daily truck trips from the Cross Bronx Expressway. Congressman Torres is committed to fighting for clean air that Bronx residents deserve. Our office is also honored to join Lincoln Hospital, our gracious host here, in announcing $350,000 for Guns Down, Life Up, a program that treats violence as a public health crisis. Congressman Torres is proud to champion initiatives like this one, which provide Bronx youth with the counseling, mentorship, and support they deserve. Congressman Torres joined House Financial Services Ranking Member Maxine Waters at Homestead Bank to meet with leaders of minority depository institutions and CDFIs, lenders specifically targeted to serve the low-income and underserved community that the biggest banks won't touch. Our office is actively fighting threats to the CDFI fund and pushing back against executive orders that make it harder for the community banks to serve Bronx families. These institutions are the financial backbone of our borough, and they deserve a Congress that has their back. Please know that our office is always open and available to assist any Bronx resident in need of federal services and support. On behalf of Congressman Torres, thank you for your time and for your continued service to this community. Thank you.
Any questions?
Good afternoon, well, good evening. My name is Gina Costello-Williams. I am your Community Affairs Borough Representative for Honorable Jemani D. Williams, the Public Advocate of New York City. So I just want to highlight a couple of pressing items. One is there have been many shootings throughout the city, and they have been meaningless. And so the public advocate is diligently working with all elected officials to secure that all people are thriving, they're safe, and to put a cease to all of this reckless gun violence. And in order to do that, we have to be able to stand together on several issues. But when injustice is being done, we must be accountable and we must step up to the plate and do the appropriate measures of reporting. Because just as a person loses their life from a hand of a gun, the person who did the action with the gun needs to be held accountable. So all families lose at the end of the day. The person who did the shooting and the person who is deceased or injured. With that being said, Public Advocate's mission also is to make sure that we are keeping families together. So ICE has been extremely active in East Harlem. There have been 3 kidnappings of people on their bikes doing food deliveries, and they have been picked up by ICE. So now they're being separated from families. The goal is to not have people separated from families, but to have active measures on how, while immigration is here, we're all from somewhere, but we're here and we deserve to be treated in the same accord with human dignity, respect, with our human rights and our civil rights. We all are underneath one body. There's no one person better or more privileged than another. With that being said, I would like to also say that the housing situation with the worst landlords list, our office has been diligently working with NYCHA, going through when we get the calls. Constituent Services has been responsive to follow up with appropriate measures to make sure repairs are being fixed, and if the sidewalk issues, whatever the issues are, that those issues are going to be corrected, as well as with private rentals and private homeowners, because there has been a lot of deed theft. And so that is another issue that we have been heavily involved in as well, to try to have some resolves. The other thing is, while pipes need to be secured and safe, we have been promoting the free lead assessment and the pipe replacement, and also highlighting the local law 75. I'm not going to go into depth with it because it's already been established from our council member's office. But what I do want to add to this is that right now we are at increasing numbers with opiate addiction. So as we are all here throughout the city, everyone deserves the right to live. And everyone's, situation might vary. However, to be armed and to be prepared with knowledge and education, we are partnering with Community Board One and with Lincoln Hospital and with Odyssey House to provide a Narcan training. And we're going to have as many resources here, and it will be held here. I'm just waiting for a date. We already secured the location. And then I want to push another issue right now that has been pressing. And the public advocate put out a statement today about it. So voting, registration is so urgent to register to vote and then to participate in that voting practice, especially in the local elections, because it has just been a 6-3 vote and it did not pass for Section 2. So we're back at the table again. So while redlining is happening, what is happening is that they're shrinking areas, right? And the areas who are disenfranchised are going to be the ones who will not have access to vote. What does that really mean? Look at our officials that are representing that area. If they can't go vote for themselves and you can't vote for them, then who's going to be there to protect us? Which is the reason why we must register to vote and we must be actively engaged in the participation of voting. We must be engaged in our community boards on all levels and every other facet, our school boards. These things are so important to secure, thriving. And I commend the two young ladies that came up here so proudly, so eloquently to stand up for their education, because if we don't know, how can the city move forward to make corrective actions? So I'm going to be working with them and with our DPA, Elizabeth Kennedy, around that issue. And I just want to also say, in terms of the street co-namers, there are so many coming up. But if you do need, and you have all of your paperwork in order and everything has been submitted, you can email me at gwilliams@advocate.nyc.gov and submit a bio and what you have submitted. And like, for instance, this passed today, right? So if you need a letter of support, please request that from the public advocate. I will pass it to the appropriate persons in policy and legislation and advocate on your behalf as well. Let's see, I think that about covers it for me right now. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and I look forward to seeing you in community.
Good evening. My name is Jose Ramon Perez, and I'm from the office of Senator Jose Serrano. Just 3 points. Senator Serrano, who is the chair of the majority at the Senate, is proud to have introduced and defended 3 separate budget extender bills this month, which allow to the continued functioning of the state government. The budget in the state of New York has not been voted yet. But during this ongoing budget, he's doing his job, assuring that the state continues to function. So these measures are essential to ensure that critical services, including state payroll, Medicaid, and school funding, remain interrupted. Senator Serrano also answered questions from colleagues regarding the current status of budget negotiations as the conference continues to work towards a budget that benefits all New Yorkers. And then another thing is that Senator Serrano is thrilled to have one of the locations of the World Cup fan events in the district at the Bronx Terminal Market. At this location, Bronx residents and fans from all over will be able to join together and celebrate this historic event free of charge. And our next constituent hours will take place at the Borinquen Court Mitchell Older Adult Center at 295 East 138th Street that is between Alexander and 3rd Avenues, on Friday, May the 15th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we are always every Wednesday from 2 to 5 at Hunts Point Public Library. If you cannot make it to our office at 335 East 100th Street in Harlem. And if you need anything, you can always call our office at 212-828-5829. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nipa from the Office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. So firstly, the Congress passed a funding bill today to end the Homeland Security shutdown. And then next, the Congresswoman and Senator Patty Murray introduced the Fair Wages for Home Care Workers Act. This act guarantees minimum wage and overtime protection for over 3 million home care workers. Next, through the community project funding, our office secured $14.2 million for our district. There are 15 projects. And I'm just going to talk about 2 different projects that from the South Bronx. The funding includes direct and urgent infrastructure investments for New York City's largest food bank in Hunts Point, violence interruption program in South Bronx, and others. Among these projects we secured $1 million to help restore public access to the East 132nd Street pier in Port Morris, $1 million for Thrive for Life Prison Project for expansion of vocational education and workforce training program. All these projects are listed on our website, so you can see the details there. And finally, our office is at 1231 Lafayette Avenue. We are open for walk-ins Monday to Thursday, 9 to 5. If you need anything, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Community Board 1, District Manager. My name is Diana Leonard. I am the Community Engagement Specialist for the Assembly Member Amanda Septimo. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. So I placed some flyers in the back. I'm not sure if everyone got a chance to pick one up, but I kind of wanted to go over some things with you. So we have a brief snapshot of what we've seen across the district. So during the reporting period, there was over 4,311 complaints, with about 89 of those complaints closed. Top issues continue to be illegal parking, residential noise, heat and water concerns. Now, from our district office, we handled 20 constituent cases. Shout out to Carmen Rodriguez, who is our constituent liaison, and she managed to successfully resolve all those 20 constituents' cases. Having a brief conversation with Carmen, she let us know that, the common needs of those cases were labor-related issues, housing and HRA support, and tax assistance. Now, if you have the sheet in front of you, looking closely at agency performances, so NYPD, HPD, and DOT accounted for roughly 85% of all complaints in CB1. With noise and quality of life concerns continuingly to dominate. In response, our office has been actively coordinating around key community concerns that were raised at previous meetings. So alongside Bankside Park Waterfront, we are working with NYC Parks, Brookfield Properties, and 40th Precinct to address lighting, safety, and sanitation issues. Yes. We are also organizing a community walk and talk and supporting cleanup events with our local partners. On broader properties, Assemblymember Septimo continues to expand food access, protect essential home care coverage, engage directly with the NYCHA residents, and grow workforce opportunities through resource fairs and job readiness programming. Now, on the legislative side, the state budget remains unsolved. Though the Assembly has passed multiple budget extenders to keep government operating. Key priorities include food rescue tax credit, environmental protections for the South Bronx, and addressing rising energy costs. We're also proud to share recent investments in District 84, including $100,000 for food access, $75,000 for youth literacy, and major capital funding for the Hunts Point Food Distribution Center. Now, before I go, I got upcoming events. So our Community Day Action Cleanup is taking place Sunday, this Sunday. We're hitting May hard. So May 3rd from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in partnership with Dogs of Mott Haven and Mott Haven Merchant Association, we're gonna do a cleanup. And where is that? So anyway, our day of cleanup, that's our first event. So then our second event is a second cleanup alongside 3rd Avenue to St. Anne's Avenue on 149th Street. And that's on Monday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in partnership with Boots on the Ground and Bronx Community Solutions. And then we have our Dominican Symposium, which will be on Saturday, May 9th at Lincoln Hospital from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you grab a flyer, which is in the back, you can register it's a QR code, just register to attend the event. It's gonna be awesome. And then looking ahead it's just save the date, because the Assembly member will be hosting FIFA watch parties on June 11th at 3 p.m. for Mexico versus South Africa. The location hasn't been determined yet. And then there's another one on June 16th at 3 p.m. at I-9 Bistro for Senegal versus France. And these events are being coordinated with the Mexican Coalition and African Advisory Council. So we encourage residents to participate and stay connected with our office. As a reminder, our office is on 505 Brook Avenue. We are open Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5, on Fridays from 9 to 4, and then on weekends, we even schedule meetings, so by appointment. Feel free to reach out to me or Carmen, and we will kindly open up the space for anything that you might want to talk about. We remain committed to working closely with Community Board 1 and our community partners to address quality of life concerns and deliver resources where they are mostly needed. So please feel free to pick up a flyer. Our information is on those flyers for the event and our office number, and feel free to reach out.
Good night, Community Board 1. My name is Bianca Stevenson, and I'm with the Office of the Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson. So first, I'd like to say thank you to all members who were up for reappointment, who scheduled their interview and already had it. I feel today like a little bit like I'm among family because I got to have a meeting with you all in the last couple of weeks, so thank you very much. By June 1, the borough president will announce the new board, including hopefully you all, as well as new members to the board, so you have a nice, robust board. The other thing I'd like to talk about is Bronx Week. They're saying Bronx Week, but it's a very long week because it kicks off tomorrow. Yes, Bronx 2 weeks. Kicks off tomorrow, and then it goes until the 17th, Sunday the 17th. I did leave these nifty books in the back that have all the events for Bronx Week. as well as the borough president has a brand new website she wanted me to tell you about. And if you also go on the website, you'll see the events for Bronx Week. We are hoping that everyone will come out and participate. She's also asking CB1 to come and march with her. So I think you register as well on the website to be able to march with the borough president for Bronx Week. Part of that, I'm just gonna highlight a couple of the upcoming events. This one is really exciting. So if you know anyone, the prom dress and suit giveaway. Apparently, I've never been, but I heard it's a whole big red carpet event, and you know how the borough president does it. So I heard it's really amazing. So this is Friday, May 8th from 5 to 8. So if you have any graduated seniors, young men, young women, please get in touch. It's first come first, actually. First come first, so just be there on that day to get a beautiful dress. They have all kinds of stuff happening that day. I think they do makeup. I think the guys get haircuts. It's quite wild. Going with the graduation theme, there's a graduate fair as well. That's on May 7th, 5:30 to 7:30. Please, the flyers at the back. More resources for our graduates. Tennis night with dad. That's also part of it. May the 14th, dad can go out with the tennis night with dad. So the kids, right? That's at the Cary League Center for tennis and learning. The borough president has been having a series of career fairs. So there is one upcoming on May the 14th, another one June the 4th, and 2 others later. So make sure you pick up this one as well. And then last but not least, this is the Grand Parade and Festival, the ending of Bronx Week, which is where she wants you to march. On Sunday, May the 17th. This is going to be a really exciting event. And there's also a concert afterwards. I don't know the lineup, but there's going to be a lineup. So finally, I'd just like to let you know, I told you about this one, but there's a nifty senior resource guide that the borough president has put together. So has a lot of, even when I was having the meeting with you all, a lot of people talk about the seniors and the lack of resources or them not knowing where to go for help. So this is very helpful. If you need to get any more, let me know, and we can arrange it at the office, but there are a few of these back there to share with your neighbors and your community. So thank you very much, and that's it for me.
Quick question, Ms. Stevens, for the borough president's office. Questions regarding appointments and or reappointments for the borough presidents. I know the interviews are going on, so you will talk about that.
Oh.
Appointments to new members who are looking to become part of the community board. I know that folks fill out applications. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I can say a little bit about that. So I finished all the re-applicants because I'm the liaison for this board. I'm the one doing those interviews. So I finished the re-applicants last week, and I've been doing interviews for new applicants. You guys have some amazing new potential. Of course, I always tell everyone who I interview, I'm just a note taker. But it looks really good, and from what I've seen so far, it's from various parts of the district, not just like one part. So hopefully that all that is taken into consideration, so you have a nice diverse board from all areas. So yeah, okay, okay, thank you.
Any other elected officials here? Being none, we have Sergeant from the 40th Precinct who was delayed and is just going to give us a quick overview.
Good evening, Sergeant Marks from the 40th Precinct. I do the evening Q team. I'll just go over the statistics really briefly for you. In the 28th day, it looks like we're down in all major crime categories, except for robbery, which we're up by 1. But again, that's something that we will always tell you guys. Please be aware of your situation. Don't make yourself an easy target. Don't walk around, phones and other items of value in view for people to make you a target and try and take them from you. Week to date, we are down in just about everything. We are trending a little bit higher in grand larcenies, but we are down majorly in grand larceny autos, which was a big issue that we were having this year. Traffic data, thankfully, most things we are down, although we are increasing with total collisions and with injuries. Again, please, when we deal with these and we talk about one of the major things to prevent injuries with collisions, wear your seatbelts, please. If you're riding on an alternative device, either scooters, motorcycles, bicycles, e-bikes, please wear a helmet. Don't over-occupy vehicles because it's another means of injury for people, the passengers of those vehicles. Don't ride on handlebars, don't ride in the baskets on e-bikes, city bikes, and such. Please remember to wear your helmets. And that's pretty much what I have as an overview. General safety concerns, I think you'll notice, and some people have mentioned this to me already tonight, there are increased foot posts that are out there. We do have 2 modules of field training units that are in here. They're working 2 different tours that overlap. When they finish their initial tour, they get shifted to a later hours that they will be working. And next week, we're going to put into place the summer violence reduction plan as we did last year. And so there'll be increased hours and increased posts that you'll see out on the streets, including outside units like we have talked about in the past, mobile field forces, where you'll see those cars parked on corners with their lights on, and a couple of officers who are not from this precinct, but they are out here to help assist us in reducing crime with high visibility. And if anyone has any questions.
We have one here.
Yes.
Good evening, my name is Ms. Goodwin, I'm a board member. Brook Avenue, from the 42nd precinct up to 156th Street, we have a lot of blind spots. 159th between Brook and St. Anne's, there's a lot going on. We need people out there at night as well. We have a lot of drifters, I don't know what's going on, but we're in trouble. 3rd Avenue is very, very dark. During the day, we have school let out, there's a school there next to the church, we need help. For the precinct council, your officers, they're aware of it, but it seems to be ongoing. But we really need help up in that area. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I'll make sure that we keep an eye on it, my officers and myself, and if anything, if you see anything, please, as always, if you see something, say something, call 911, call 311, and we will respond as expeditiously as possible and investigate.
Does anyone from the audience have any questions for the 40th precinct? Please step up. None? Step up, please. Question.
For the 40th for public safety.
Public safety, yeah. Question, yes. 40th precinct. Anyone else? Okay, let's move the agenda very quickly. Thank you very much. Committee reports, economic development, land use zoning, Freddie Perez, that's me. I don't have a report because I didn't have a committee meeting this month. There was no presentation. Marilyn Peña, Health and Human Services, do you have a report?
I already expressed the update of my healthcare, just, we're gonna do more engagement and community outreach. So again, I have nothing else to say.
Thank you. So we have public and transitional housing, Daniel Barber, who is not here. Municipal Service and Environmental Justice, Mr. Ambrose is not here. Seniors and Aging, Ms. Brenda Goodwin, do you have a report?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am the chairperson of the Senior and Aging Committee. We meet once a month. I'm asking all of you that have seniors at home, relatives, please ask them to come out to this meeting. We are dedicated to helping our seniors in any way possible. We have already met with the Department of Aging. We will be meeting with CVS. We will be meeting with Accessory, and we will be meeting with the mayor's office, hopefully. We are sending out invites to these agencies. We have issues with our seniors that need to be addressed. The borough president's lady will get some booklets from you to give out as well. This is the need. We meet during the day because we don't want seniors coming out at night. Even if you don't know somebody, but you know somebody who may need some help, reach out to me. I will contact that person. But I want, the seniors in this district are really having a hard time. So please, reach out to me, Mr. Anthony, he will get in touch with me, and I will reach out to those seniors. We do outreach. We don't sit in the office, we do outreach. And we will help the people come into the meeting if they need help, as I said, and I need people there. Even if you're not a senior, when Accessory comes, I need you there to tell them what's not going on. We are calling in CVS One of our members said CVS is not doing so well with the distribution of medication and stuff for our seniors. Help us with this. Please help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Goodwin. Education, Youth, and Young Adult Services was vacant, but congratulations to Amanda Perez, who's now been chosen to be the chair. You have something to say?
I'm gonna pass it over to our wonderful member, Christina Colbert, who has been doing brilliant and amazing work with this committee.
Thank you so much and congratulations. Hi, everybody. My name is Christina Cover. I'm a member of the Education, Youth, and Young Adults Committee, and I'm so excited to share. Many of you may know we've been working on a book exchange. We've been doing this initiative about twice a month the past few months. We've gotten hundreds of books. We've had to tell community members to pause on sending books because we've gotten so many. Now, this Saturday, May 2nd, in collaboration with the Hub, and with the bid out on Roberto Clemente Plaza, we'll be joining the Healing Through Literature and Music event at the Plaza. So the Plaza will be activated this Saturday. It'll be from 1 to 5. There's going to be our book exchange, so you can pick up a book, you can donate a book. There will be free refreshments at DJ, activities for kids, and local vendors. And so we're looking for volunteers to help us set up. It's a really positive event, and we're looking for more ways to activate Roberto Clemente Plaza for the community in ways like this. So May 2nd, and then there are a few more May dates left. So join us, join us, join us. Bring a book, take a book. It's been a great initiative, so hope to see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Policy and legislation, Delorne Amberin is not here. License and permits, Robert Barnes indicated he has nothing to inform. Any old business from the board? Mr. Jordan, any old business?
None, Chair.
None, Chair. New business, any new business? Being there's none, I now ask for a board member to make a motion to adjourn committee board meeting.
I make the motion. Patricia Simpson make the motion to adjourn this meeting.
No.
Hold on, I second, but there was somebody in the audience that wanted to speak, and he. Okay, so then, are you here? No? Okay, so then I make the motion I second the motion for adjournment.
All those in favor to adjourn, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Steve.